What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I want to talk about the speculations what is going to be the new next NRS title. And I want to talk about why I feel like it might be Injustice 3. Now, in case you didn't know, in case you're new around to all the NRS drama and everything going on, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the ending of Mortal Kombat 1, even though they did come back and say that they're going to support MK1 a little longer with some balance patches. We know it's probably not going to be that much support, most likely, but we'll see. You never know. With that being said, the next title, it's time for that to be discussed. And there are three main things that people talk about when it comes to the potential next title. They either talk about a Shaolin Monks type IP, like that game, or a new IP following that nature. That's one. Or they talk about Injustice 3 potentially, or they talk about just MK2 or MK12. So that is what's being discussed right now, what we are going to get. And the bonus one is like a horror IP. There's a lot of people that speculate that NRS is working on a complete horror IP. Now, with that being said, I think that any one of those could be a potential release. The thing about being in the NRS community is you get to a point where you understand that we're always in the dark. So it could be any one of those things that we get. We honestly don't know. But I do think Injustice 3 is the right choice to make if they choose to make another game right now. And I'm going to be talking about why. Now, a lot of people, in case you don't know by now, Mortal Kombat 1 suffered for a lot of reasons. And one of the biggest reasons, not biggest reasons, but the quote unquote biggest reason that MK1 suffered is because other games failed. Now, I'm not going to get into all of those games, but they tried to position Mortal Kombat 1 in a way to make up for a lot of Warner Bros. Failed titles. And Mortal Kombat 1 had to eat the fact that a lot of other titles failed, and they tried to use that as the moneymaker to generate money for their failures. With that being said, Mortal Kombat 1 suffered a lot. So I hope now, this is why I think it is and should be Injustice 3 next. They should not just release another Mortal Kombat game right away. They shouldn't, in my opinion. It's going to be rushed, it's going to be bad, and it's just going to be another perceived failure if they release another Mortal Kombat game. I hope that they don't, but it is still a possibility. All those four things that I listed, the routes they can take, all of them are a possibility. But why I think it's the smarter choice to release Injustice 3 is we all know what Injustice is going to be. We all know the route they take with Injustice. Injustice is never meant to, has never been there to overtake Mortal Kombat. It's their side game. It's their side project while they're working on Mortal Kombat. It's, of course, they want to make money. All companies want to make money, but it is there for a certain reason. It's a game that, in my opinion, I think the second one was a big improvement over the first. The game kind of gets a bad rep because how volatile and crazy the first game was, but I think they cleaned it up a lot with two by the end of the game's life cycle. But still, with that being said, I feel like Injustice 3 is a safe pick. They're going to release something that they know is going to sell solid. It's not going to sell as much as Mortal Kombat, of course, but they can release that game and it will give them time to actually work on the next Mortal Kombat and make it what it should be, a juggernaut game, a actual AAA game with a bunch of features and a bunch of things to do and something that's so good that it will make up for their failed projects. Not another half-baked game with, no matter how much I say that people overreact with how the game is, I honestly can still say that MK11 and 1 were underbaked games. They just felt like incomplete games all the time. And even now, Mortal Kombat 1, where I do say it's in a very good position balance wise when it comes to the patches and updates and them keeping things interesting up until the end, I still feel like the game lacks a lot of key features that the new modern fighting games have. And with that being said, if they actually take their time, like they were supposed to do with this game, and release Injustice, because this is what they're going to do with Injustice anyway. They're lazy. They're going to reuse a bunch of assets from Injustice 2 and 1 and just plop out a game. That's what they're going to do. They can be lazy with Injustice, though. That's the thing. That's why I'm saying that it's the safer pick, because they could just hop on Injustice and not really do much and still sell decent. But they can't do that with Mortal Kombat anymore. They tried, it did not work. So they actually have to put in some work with Mortal Kombat now. But Injustice, oh no. They're just going to reuse a bunch of assets. You're going to get some characters, some new DLC that's going to have some moves. I can call it now, like Red Hood is going to be reused. They're not going to use the character, but they're going to use a lot of his moves on a brand new character with a gun. Like, mark my words, if Injustice 3 comes out. So I think that's the smart choice. They have actual time to rebuild and actual time to work on a game and actual time to deliver what they have promised 2 games in a row and not delivered on. They have said 2 games in a row that they want to make a fighting game with longevity. They want to stop the 2, 3, 4 year releases back to back. Well, 2 to 4 year releases back to back. And they have said that they want to work on a game that they can have some longevity on. Now, whether you think they should do that or not, that's a whole nother video. But that's what they said they wanted to do. And they stopped in the midst of it both times. So, again, I think Injustice 3 coming out is the best possible decision. It's realistic. It's a realistic decision. They can be lazy, use a bunch of old assets from the other Injustice games, plop out an Injustice easily, no problem, and actually go to work on MK2 or 12. Now, the other 2 things, the complete horror IP, that could work, but it's a risk. And the Shaolin Monks type IP, it could work, but it's a risk. I don't think that they are in a position to take risk right now. That is just my opinion. Again, I would be happy with any one of those things releasing. I really don't care too much. Like, I think a horror IP would be cool. I think a Shaolin Monks type game or IP would be cool. I would be fine with MK2 or 12, and I'll be fine whether Injustice comes out or not. You know, I just like playing their games in general, so I would be okay no matter what. I'm not, because I already know, like I said in every video, there's always that one comment, oh, you're advocating for Injustice, you're advocating. No, not doing that. I don't really care what they release, but I do think Injustice 3 is the most logical decision. Now, with that being said, I do hope that this clears up where I currently stand with what they're doing right now. I think that it is actually time for this company to stop playing games, to stop blaming things on other things and then these other things. In reality, people don't care about all of that. People just want a good game at the end of the day. And there's no reason a multi-million-dollar company should have this many perceived failures back to back. There's just no reason. And it's just, I know how the cycle goes with fighting games. Oh, fighting game drops, people don't like it. New fighting game comes out, and then people say the last fighting game before it was the best ever. That's just how it works. But this time, it's just time for all the shenanigans to end. We need an actual complete game. That's it. That's not too much to ask for. That's not doing too much. It's time. It's not all the time for all the bickering amongst the community, all the making excuses for the devs, all the lackluster releases and patches. It's time for all that to end. It's time for them to buckle down, drop Injustice 3, and actually put in the work on a new Mortal Kombat game. But that's my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my memberships if you would like to support the channel even more, and join the Discord if you would like to communicate with the Ob Squad. Hope you all enjoyed, and Nickopz out.